I didn't know the video existed until my boss asked me to close the door. He never closes the door. He stared at me for a long time, then slowly turned his monitor toward me. On the screen, I saw myself confessing to leaking company data. Not a blurry version, not a distorted voice. It was my face, my office, my voice, and I was calmly admitting to sabotaging the company. The video was 2 minutes and 38 seconds long. In it, I explained how I accessed internal systems. I mentioned real passwords. I referenced an actual meeting from the week before. But I never recorded that video. My boss paused it on my face. "Why would you do this?" he asked. I told him I didn't. He zoomed in. "You can't fake detail like this." But now you can. Deepfakes don't just copy your face anymore. They copy micro-expressions, breathing patterns, voice tremors, hand gestures. And this one had all of mine. Except for one thing. In the background, there was a framed photo on the wall. I had removed that photo 3 days earlier. I pointed it out. He said the metadata showed the video was recorded at 11:47 p.m. the night before. From my work laptop, using my login. That was impossible. At 11:47 p.m., I was at home with my wife. But when I checked my laptop logs later, camera access, microphone access, file export. 11:45 p.m. Someone, or something, had used my machine. That same day, I found an email sent from an address that looked exactly like mine. 1 character off. Subject line, "You should have taken the offer." Inside was a still frame from the video, dated 2 weeks earlier. A month before this, a recruiter from a competitor had offered me double my salary. I declined. 2 days later, I received a message on LinkedIn. "You'll regret that." I ignored it. Inside the company, the video spread before I was even fired. HR called me in. Legal was there. They replayed the clip in slow motion. Every movement looked natural. At one point in the video, I rubbed my thumb against my index finger, something I always do when I'm nervous. That habit existed in dozens of Zoom recordings. Enough data to train a model. By the next morning, my badge didn't work. Slack disabled. Email locked. Access revoked. Official reason: breach of trust. They had already shown the video to a major client. Digital forensics said there were no obvious manipulation artifacts. This wasn't a cheap edit. It was engineered. 2 days later, my wife received the video from an anonymous sender. She watched it twice. Then she asked me something I wasn't prepared for. "If this isn't real, why does it sound exactly like you?" That question hit harder than losing my job, because even I felt a flicker of doubt. It did sound like me. But AI doesn't need truth. It needs patterns. The police called the following week. They weren't arresting me yet, but the competitor company had received the same video as evidence. I had hours of recorded meetings online, panels, webinars, training sessions. We record everything now. We archive ourselves. And someone had used that archive against me. I hired a cybersecurity analyst. He said cases like mine were increasing. Public-facing professionals were ideal targets. He traced the model to an offshore AI server. It wasn't random. The deepfake had been refined in stages, multiple training cycles. Someone had invested time into recreating me. No hacking required, just scraping public data. Then I noticed something I never told anyone. 3 days before I was fired, I received a calendar invite from my boss, scheduled at 11:47 p.m. I declined it, thinking it was a glitch. 11:47 p.m. The same timestamp in the metadata of the deepfake. Coincidence? Maybe. But the recruiter who contacted me never replied after the video surfaced. The competitor denied involvement. My former company stopped responding. Search my name now, and you'll see words like data leak and internal breach. Strangers comment, if it looks that real, it probably is. That's the world we live in now. Reality is judged by realism, not by truth. I haven't worked since. Every interview ends the same way. They've seen something. They're concerned. How do you prove you didn't say something when the video shows you saying it? Sometimes I rewatch the clip, frame by frame. There's a moment at the end where my eyes shift slightly to the left, as if I'm reading something off screen. I've never made that eye movement in any of my real recordings, which means the AI didn't just copy me. It predicted me, improved me, created a version that's more confident, more convincing, more believable, and people chose him over me. If you think this can't happen to you, search your own name. Count how many hours of your voice exist online. Now imagine someone patient enough to turn all of it into you. And imagine losing everything to a version of yourself that never existed.